Hi, I'm Caryn Ross, and I'm here today to cook my family's favorite creamed spinach. Now this isn't your ordinary spinach dish that the kids go ugh about. This is the dish that everybody raves about. My kids will eat it all day long. Start out with an onion. First we're going to cut it up. I like to do a small dice when I do it. Kind of a fun trick. This is kind of tricky. If you'll cut it sideways, try not to take your arm off, and you cut down like that, and get yourself a real pretty little piece. It's very impressive when you do it in front of people because they think you're, oh my gosh, you've got the hidden secret to how to cut an onion. And then I take bacon. My husband has a wonderful saying about bacon. He told me once that it is a pig's way of saying I love you is what bacon is. And frankly, when I eat bacon, I just thank that little piglet. Thank you, Mr. Pig. So we chop our bacon up real good like this. I like to do a bigger, slice on it because I like to taste the bacon. So we've chopped it up. And then next we're going to go over and saute this up till it's kind of translucent. So come on over here and check this out. Hi, we're over here at the stovetop now. Very exciting. I brought our good little friend, Mr. Pig, and our onion. And we're going to saute this up with our other favorite thing in the whole wide world. That's our butter. So I use a half a stick of butter. Lightly get that kind of moving around in there and melting real good. So with the bacon, you don't have to add as much salt, but I always like to add just a little bit of salt and pepper. I like to use kosher salt. It just has a better taste. Okay, now that I've got that going, I'm going to go ahead and add in the onion. I'm going to let it get all pretty, all translucent. And it's going to mix with this bacon. You're not really going to want to crisp up the bacon. I mean, if you do, it's going to be okay. But you're just wanting to get that flavor. And it makes it heartier, frankly. Okay, now that we've got everything kind of sauteing together, the last thing I do is add in our garlic. I don't like to add the garlic first because I once burned garlic, and you only do that once. And then after you smell the smell that's in your house for like 3 days, you never do that again. So I add it at the very end. And what I do... Okay guys, we're back to assembling the rest of our dish. What I do is we're going to go ahead and add, let's see here, we're going to add the other half of our butter. Hi, we're back again. Okay, so we've got our butter just really going to town. And what I do is I go ahead and I add my flour in. It's going to get kind of scary because you're going to think, oh, it's not going to work. Okay, so you're just going to kind of put your flour in there and get your bumps out if you can. And then let it cook for just a half a second here. Get your big bumps out. And then you're going to grab your handy dandy whisk. This is going to be your new best friend. You're going to grab your whisk and your cream. I use half and half because I figure after all the butter and bacon, try not just to exactly go immediately to the cardiologist. We're going to go ahead and add in that cream real slow, and it's going to thicken because the flour is going to make it thicken real quick for us. So I'm going to add in the rest of the half and half, getting the sides all down. You don't want to have it on very high heat because you don't want to scald the milk, because if you ever boil milk, it turns into lumps and it's crazy. You only do it once though. Now, the secret. We're going to add our cream cheese, and this is how you go from making a regular old thing of cream spinach to making the fancy stuff that you can show to anybody. So what I do is I take my softened cream cheese, gonna add it in, and I'm just gonna I just got the little blob like this. I know it sounds crazy, but it works. And you're just adding it in. See how that sauce is going? I turn the heat down to a little bit between medium and low. And basically what you're creating here is a Mama Bechamel sauce. You can't beat that. Don't have to go to Paris to learn how to make this and go to some fancy French institute. Your cream cheese is your secret. And there we go. It's kind of thick, you're going to think, but it's going to be okay because when it mixes with the spinach, because spinach always has a lot of water in it, I don't care how much you drain it. There we go. And so I'm going to turn it on low now. I like to go ahead and add a little bit of salt. And then here we go, just to add a little more flavor, as I take my nutmeg and I grate in a little nutmeg. Now you can, I know we all have the stuff that's in our pantry in the little plastic container, but I'm telling you, this little nut, woo! Uh-oh, that was gonna be hot if I dumped it in a pot.
Nut down.
It'd be a nut down. So we add in a little nutmeg. And this is when you look like you've gone pro. So what I do is I turn it back up just a little bit. And I'm going to add in Parmesan cheese. The secret to Parmesan cheese, you can cut your corners, ladies. You can use the stuff out of the plastic container, but you might as well have grated the plastic container right next to it because it tastes like that. Go to Sam's, buy the big block of Parmigiano Reggiano. It will last you forever. But use it when you're making a good sauce, especially when you're trying to do a fake out on cream spinach for your kids. And you're just going to whisk that in, allow it to kind of melt, and get all good. Okay, you can see our sauce is kind of thick. It may be kind of freaking you out a little bit. I've told you that the spinach is going to have some water. So what I do is I always keep a little of the half and half left over, and I just add just a touch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in, remember our sauteed bacon and the onions and the garlic? We're going to put that in with our sauce, like that. We're not going to really need our whisk anymore so much. Do that. We're going to mix that all together like that. And see, that butter is automatically going to go in there with that sauce. And they're going to become super good friends. Stir that up. Incorporate that butter that was in there and the bacon fat. Now we add the healthy part. This is our spinach. Use a 20-ounce container of the frozen spinach. In your grocery section, just go ahead, let it set out, and then drain it. And then you're just going to add it in. And there you go. You're going to mush it up like this. And now we've added the healthy part. We've added in our bacon, we've added in our butter, we've added in our onions and garlic, and now we're sending it home with the spinach. And do you see how this sauce is working so well? I just love it. I mean, cream cheese is my secret. I'm telling you, it makes the best stinking sauce. And the secret is I just kind of keep it here on the stovetop because you're really just trying to warm the spinach up. And then once it's all warmed up, you're going to stick it in a nice little side dish and serve it to your guests or to your kids, and your kids are going to love it. Okay, guys, what you do is you take your big pot of happiness here, your vegetable, serve it to your family. What I do is I just serve it in a dish. I take a little bit of my Parmesan cheese and put it on top. And then usually I'll have a husband waiting, the only husband I have, waiting around the corner. And he'll come, and he'll think he's at a steakhouse.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is heaven. I'll take the whole bowl, baby. Ooh, baby, nibble. Ooh, doggy. Ooh, wonderful stuff.
That's cream spinach at the Ross House.